Welcome back to JPWHU TV. It's great to see you all. Thank you very, very much for participating on the channel. Let me just do, as usual, because it's all dicking about, let me just do something quickly on the computer so you guys get to see what's going on. I need to do that. So basically, guys, I've reverted back to the using my phone because my computer is basically dead. Quite frankly, the computer is absolutely, well, it's not dead, but it's not exactly alive, shall we say. Let me just put the thumbnail back on it because there's a lot of interesting things going on with this computer when I'm trying to do things at the moment. There's a lot of inconsistencies going on, but guys, the purpose of this live stream was to thank you all. Welcome new subscribers, live stream, right? So so thank you guys for anybody that is actually watching this live. I can see that somebody's actually in the chat. I've got a funny feeling I know who that is. But yeah, guys, by all means, please do. Which that's going. Sorry, guys. That's going. Sorry, guys. That's going a bit strange. Like it always is with this channel, there's always something going on in there. There's always something. But yeah, guys, I just want to say thank you very much to everybody that subscribed over the last couple of days. You know, as of Saturday, if I remember correctly, it was 3,499 subscriber count. And as it stands at the moment, guys, we are close to 3,600. It's I genuinely can't thank you guys enough for this. I really can't, because I do appreciate everybody that that subscribes to the channel. I know there's a lot of things going on at the moment in terms of some infighting in the fan base, which we're not going to get involved in. But I do want to say thank you to everybody that has indeed subscribed to the channel, because honestly, I couldn't believe the amount of subscribers that this channel's picked up over the last couple of days. Now, I'm hoping it's just more down to the fact that you guys have been, excuse me, but you guys have been enjoying the content over the last few days. I mean, for example, the video that went up this morning at literally 12 hours ago, 7 o'clock, when that went up. It was basically talking about Daniel Kretinsky's live stream to the his interview with the Times. And hang on, sorry, let me just try. Yeah, guys, let me know if you can hear me, because I know there is somebody watching. But yeah, as I say, that's gone over 2,000 views, and I thank you all very much for that. Honestly, you have no idea how important that is. I mean, this channel has very rarely, if ever had any subscriber count over viewing count over 2,000. I really do appreciate everybody that is supporting the channel. Let's see what the video quality is like. Yeah, excellent quality. No, yeah, that's good. But yeah, so yeah, literally 1.9k views on that video. Thank you, everybody. That really does mean a lot. But I do honestly appreciate it. It really means a lot. Now, of course, there's other stuff going on in the West Ham world as well, for that matter. But one of the things, guys, there's going to be a lot more content coming up, because I've been doing a little bit of research in terms of some ideas for content, and I want you to put your comments in either the live chat, or also put them down in the comments comment section if you're watching the replay of this, because I want you guys to give me some ideas of what you'd like me to talk about. Now, normally I don't reach out and ask you for those ideas, because I've got quite a lot of my own, but we've got quite a long time until the season starts. The championship season starts on the 14th of August, so we've got a month basically in order for that to happen. But guys, if you in the live chat, please do put your comments in there. Because I can read, I can see the live chat. I can read what you're putting in there. So please do so. Please share this as well, so you can get more people involved in it. Because honestly, once again, as I say, thank you to everybody that has subscribed to the channel over the last few days. The growth has been incredible. 3,577 as of the time of just now, when it was 3,499 on Saturday. I think it was Friday night, Saturday morning. Thank you to everybody that has watched these videos. I really do appreciate it. As I say, it's a nice way, because as you guys know, For those that are new to the channel, I didn't actually make any content between August and, well, basically end of May, really, because I had a lot of health issues earlier, and unfortunately, I had very bad gallstones. I was in hospital twice in July of last year. I was again in hospital again in September, and then again in March, and I had surgery. So otherwise I would have been able to make more content, because I didn't know if I'd be able to go on camera and then literally just be able to be in pain and have to go to the hospital and stop it. You know what I mean? It's one of the many reasons. And as you can see from the change in the background, I've moved as well. I moved at the beginning of September. That wasn't easy when you're not feeling very well. It really isn't easy at all. But yeah, so I'm back now, guys. Everything seems to be a little bit more stabilized in terms of my health and everything. So that's why, I mean, I've been making content on Facebook over the last few months anyway, keeping it alive. Now that we've got some, I've got the JPWHU TV Instagram account that's up and running as well, for that matter. And likewise, over the last few months, I've been doing pretty much since about 2/3 of the way through May. No, end of April, beginning of May, I actually started up a podcast, JPWHU Radio. You can listen to it on YouTube. You can also listen to it on Spotify. You can listen to it on Audible. You can listen to it on Apple Podcasts. Basically, wherever you get your podcast, you can listen to that as well. So, yeah. So there's a carpet communication blackout, for lack of a better way of putting it, and now all of a sudden you can't get rid of me. I'm making content left, right, and center. But as I say, the main purpose of this was to thank you all very much for subscribing to the channel over the last few days, and for your support, and for the majority of the comments that these videos are getting have been fantastic. Thank you very much. Gaza, looking forward to hopefully a good season. Yes, mate, 100% agree. Thank you for your comment. Hopefully that will spur more people on to do it. But yes, thank you very, very much for that. I absolutely agree. I've been thinking about this, right? Because, okay, yes, it's okay. It's good to be able to stay in the top tier, you know, for as long as we did. That's the longest we've ever done since the Premier League started. You know, some, you know, too much, too little, too late, who knows? But yeah. But at the same point, guys, there's a lot to look forward to when it comes to the Championship. A hell of a lot to look forward to. More football for a start. Yeah. Sky Sports Plus system will allow us to watch the games as well. So, you know, we're not going to be out without that. Basically, the way that the new system is going to be running for the channel in terms of the new season coming up is that what we're going to be doing is the podcast will do the previews. And so go into the information. There's a Patreon is back up and running as well, which will have more information than the free podcast will. So basically, the podcast will go through 90% of what you guys need to know, and in terms of that, and also for that matter, it will go through the Patreon will be everything in full. But one of the things I want to say thank you very much to, if she's watching, is Joan. Because she made an absolutely fantastic comment on the video this morning. One of the best comments I've had for a long time. So I'm trying to bring up so 2 more people have subscribed while we're going live. Thank you very much, guys. Much appreciated. Where is it? I have to go back on the normal side of things. Bear with me, guys. It's been a while since I've done this. Literally a while since I've done this. Oh, come on. Right, here we go. So let's get up to the comments on this, because I'm doing it through it's being shot through the video. The camera is on the phone, and I've got my tablet here, but I can't do live broadcasting the way that I used to. And I'll come to that in a minute. Joan at Joan hyphens come on you wines COYEI, of course, commented, thanks for this JP. I love the way that you get to the point and give us the facts and the information. I can hardly believe that better times are finally with us. Come on, you wines. Absolutely agree. You know that. Thank you, Joan, for that comment. I really do appreciate it, guys. For those that are watching, put your comments in the live chat. Let me know what you're thinking about everything. You know, and we'll talk about it. But as I say, the upcoming formats for the upcoming season have changed slightly, because what we're going to be doing now is, rather than, as I say, until I can figure out otherwise, what we're going to be doing is the podcasts are going to have the previews, They'll also have the match reactions as well, but they will be slightly different. They will be slightly different to the videos, but the live video, I'll do post-match reactions, the full-time thoughts concept as I've always had, talk about the team sheets, talk about the first half, talk about the etc., everything as that. But what I'll also do is over on Patreon, there will be a full unedited version of the podcast going up. Guys, it really doesn't cost a lot of money to support the channel over on Patreon. If you want to become a Patreon, click links in the description below. The maximum, there's only 2 tiers in it, Academy Graduate and Starting 11, right? The maximum tier is £3.50, pretty much including VAT. So about £3.60, including VAT a month. Guys, we pay way more for pretty much half a pint nowadays than to support me on Patreon. It would really appreciate it. But as I say, there's still going to be content coming up all the time. And yeah, well, let's see. There's another comment come up here. Gaza said, hopefully the post-match reactions will be about how many we've won by. It's very possible, Gaza. Gaza 89839. Very possible, mate. I doubt it, to be honest with you. I doubt it. You know, we're not going to be coming going, yeah, we've won every single game 3-0. That's not happening. There are going to be some tough fixtures in there. Basically, as I say, guys, the season starts on the 14th of August. So basically we've got, where are we? So the 15th of June now. So we've basically got 2 months. That's going to go really quickly. The announcements for the fixtures are coming out on the 25th, so 10 days time, so a week and a half. So that comes out on the midday of that Thursday. So I'll be doing some notes on that, and then we'll do a video, or might do it live. So basically, if you guys haven't already done so, go back after this broadcast and go check out the content on the channel as well, for that matter, because there's loads of stuff on there. Honestly, guys, there's absolutely huge amount of content for you guys to consume. But basically, with that video that I did at the beginning of last season with Charles, we went through month by month, predicting how many points we would get in terms of the season. And I wasn't that far off, guys. That's the scary thing about it. I mean, I don't know if any of you have watched the video that I did about it at the time, a week or so ago. But for the 25-26 season, I predicted, bring up the details now, I predicted that we would finish the season on 41 points. We finished 39. Now, if I can see, a normal football supporter like you can see, that we were gonna not technically not get enough points in order to survive the season. How the hell did the club not notice this? You know, this has been the big bugbear of everybody. How the hell are you and I are basically saying, you know, we scraped by last season, as in the 24-25 season. We scraped by the season before that when we won this little beauty. Yeah, when we won this little guy. And Gonzo, if you're watching on this, mate, these seats, the seat I've got, yeah. Oh, the hell's in there? Oh, some bolts. But yeah, we won this 3 years ago, which was a phenomenal night for everybody. I'm sure we've all got very good memories of that. And so hopefully, guys, especially now with the Kretinsky so-called takeover, because it hasn't officially finished yet, but it's coming in the weeks. I did the video about it earlier today in terms of the club statement and Kretinsky's announcement to the press, which I still think should be done on the club website. But for those that are watching, there's 5 of you. I can see the count. It's right here. I can see it on my phone. Come on, guys, give me your thoughts. Just as I asked that, Michael puts a comment in saying, Michael 1963, come on, you wines. Michael, nice to see you, mate. Hope you're keeping well. Exciting times ahead. Looking forward to the new season. 100%. This is probably, I know this is a massive cliche, but this is probably the start of a brand new era for West Ham United. Now, for the last couple of weeks, I've been putting content up on YouTube and the podcast, asking about asking if there is a long-term future plan at West Ham United. We are now starting to see that. Gaz is back again. If Kretinsky manages to keep our best players, improve the weak areas, and Nuno gets a bit more positive, I'm looking at record points haul for the Championship, mate. That's possible. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm not saying it is going to happen. It's very, very likely, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if we do see that at some point. I really, really wouldn't be at all surprised on that. But yeah, so if you want to talk about anything, guys, put it in the comment section and we'll discuss it. But as you would have seen earlier today, one of the first steps of being taken is by upgrading, and I mean properly upgrading, with a new training facility. Now that's going to take a little while, of course, as these things always do. But it's phenomenally good news for the club. It really, really is top-notch news for you and I, because that means that we'll be able to get better training facilities. Obviously, I mean, to be fair, there's not much you need to do in terms of a football pitch and a few exercise bikes, but it's more down to the treatment in there in terms of like ice baths, for example, swimming pools, as Gonzo said in his video earlier today. You know, and again, to mirror what Gonzo said earlier today, because guys, we did not have the injury record last season that we normally do. Yeah, the season just gone. We really, really struggle with having a good season of injuries or bad season of injuries. We always struggle with that. We very, very rarely have a good season of injuries. The last couple of seasons, we've been very, very blessed with that, and the medical team need to be absolutely applauded for that, because at the end of the day, guys, that's the most important thing. Forget all your fancy those hydration machines that people go into and all that sort of stuff, you know, those the air vent things, and forget your saunas and all that sort of stuff. Medical treatment is the absolutely bottom line that you have to get right, and we have started to do that. You know, no longer have we got a striker that's out for months on end. Even Callum Wilson, who had very, very bad history of injuries, had hardly anything. He did have a couple of niggles here and there, as did Somerville, but it's one of the best things we've seen for a long, long time. And I'm very, very happy that, and I'm hoping the Championship we're going to continue on with that. But as I say, upgrading and installing a new training ground is the best idea. It's probably been in the works for a while, because don't get me wrong, mate, guys, you know, this is not Kretinsky going, right, I'm a shareholder now, we're going to do a new training system, training ground. No, that would have been in the works probably since he bought his stake in the first place, to be honest with you, because I guarantee everybody that comes to the club looks at the training ground and goes, right, we need to do this, we need to do that, and I guarantee Kretinsky and his mob, and even Vanessa Gold and or that lot, they all came in and gone, right, this is abysmal. We need to upgrade this. We need to upgrade that. We need to upgrade this. Now, in terms of that's one of the other things I asked about on the videos that I've been doing recently, is where the money is coming from to go into, and where it's going to be going as well. So obviously we don't know as yet, because the money hasn't been there, but I'm sure in the fullness of time we'll find out what money's being invested once the takeover, the shares have been purchased from the Gold family. It's not going to be all of it, but as I say, as I mentioned beforehand, loads of people are saying that Kretinsky is now the majority shareholder. He's not. Mathematically, he's not, but he is, because of this P9 group that has been set up under 1890 Holdings, right? That is the majority shareholder, which is basically Kretinsky, Vanessa Gold, as I said in the video that went up on Sunday, Kretinsky, Vanessa Gold, Trip Smith, everybody else, basically, except Sullivan, right? So that's the majority shareholder we're talking about. That is the owner's base. You can't be a majority shareholder with anything under 51%. Mathematically, it's impossible. You know, you have to have, you know, to break it down, it's like Brexit. Yeah, 49 versus 51%. 51% was the majority, and that's where we're looking. You know, so to go back to what Michael and Gazza have been saying in the chat. You know, hopefully this coming season, I should say, we will be able to pick up another one of these little guys. Right now, the reason for those new viewers, the reason why I've got this and the Europa Conference League replicas is because the day I was born was the day that we beat Arsenal in the 1-0 in the FA Cup. So technically, those little things there, those trophies, are in my lifetime. Now, of course, I'd like us to have the Championship trophy replica there. I'd like us to have the League Cup replica there. And I'm sure you guys will want the same thing with the club as well, for that matter. You know, there's a lot of so come on, guys. There's 7 people watching at the moment, which is fantastic. Thank you to everybody. Once has buggered off, as I've just said it. So come on, guys. Let's give us some more thoughts in the live chat. Don't keep waiting for me to prompt you. Let's hear what you're thinking. Let's see. I want to know what you guys are thinking about. What if you got any questions? I'm more than happy to give my opinion on it. I'm not in the know in any shape or form. All the content that you've seen has all been down to my research. Everything is research, and as Joan Common New Wines intimated as well, you know, she's loving the fact that I'm just talking the straight facts, and that's brilliant. I actually really do appreciate your honesty there, Joan, because that's what this channel was originally developed for when it originally came out, was to be just no bullshit, no rumors, no nothing, just literal facts. So yeah. So come on, guys, give us your thought on it, because I'm running out of steam here a little bit. I was hoping we're going to get a few more people in. It's one of the reasons why I got the. It's one of the reasons why I put it for the time that it is. But it's fine. It's fine. 8, 9 people now. Oh, getting close to double digits, guys. Come on, give us your thought. Give us your thoughts in the live chat. Come on. If you want to talk about anything, by all means, please do let me know. One of the things I want, and I've been thinking about this for the last couple of days. Because there was a great Facebook post I saw on one of the groups the other day. One of the things I want to see on this is that we go back to not the original, not the actual original club logo. What I would like us to see on the new badge, right, is the same. Is take away London first and foremost, because we're East London for a start. That's been everybody's bugbear on this. And literally, what I would do is I would have us back to that boat shape emblem. I wouldn't have the castle back, because that's too much of the bowling ground or Upton Park, depending on your point of view. Yeah. What I would do is I would have a replica very similar to what Gonzo said in his video. What I would do is I would have a replica of the Thames Ironworks building, have that behind the crossed hammers, or have the crossed hammers taken just on their own as it is at the moment, but have West Ham United down in the arc, down with the little banner that we used to have on the badge itself. That's how I would have things. Guys, let me know how would you have the badge if we were able to, because at the end of the day, guys, making those changes, getting it back to the traditional scope, but keeping it more up to date, would be the first indication that the GSB era is completely over. Let me know what you're thinking on this. So we've got some comments in the comment chat here. So Damien Domingo 7, yo, thank you very much. West Ham World, Alligator. If we can look back in 5 years and see the fruits of a project that has been put in place from this summer, I'll be a happy hammer. Right, summer fruits, skis, summer fruits. Hope you're keeping well, mate. Damien Domenko says West Ham should sign Francolino Juju and identify Armand Lorente as a potential Somerville replacement. Take your word for it, mate. I have no idea who those two are. Give us some explanation there, Damien, but yeah, let us know. Gaza says, do you think Nuno can get a bit braver? I know he's promoted a side before. How confident are you? It's a good question, Damo. Sorry, Gaza. It's a very, very good question. I've criticised him a lot over the last, well, pretty much the 90% of the last season. Really have criticised him a lot. I do think that I've given him a bit of a leeway, as a lot of people have, because of the scenario we've been in. His substitutions have been very, very questionable. His lineups have been okay, but not brilliant. Let's not forget that he was in charge from match week 6 onwards. So that's 32 plus the league and cup games. We're looking at close to 40 games. He should have figured it out by the end of the season. That's my gripe of Nuno. I'm not saying that he's a bad manager in any shape or form, because as you intimated there, Gazza, mate, you know, he finished second with Wolves, and then in the first season back in the Premier League, they got him to European places twice. in the first and two second seasons. So I do think he can get a bit braver, but I think he was working with a ship that was already sinking. That's the problem. That's the issue with this here. I mean, and I hate to say it, but we were a polished herd last season. We genuinely were. I mean, how many times did we actually get out the bottom three? 2 games? 3 games? Wasn't good enough in any shape or form. Yes, but you can't blame Potter solely for it because he wasn't involved enough of it. I mean, you can because it was the Potter legacy on that. But in terms of as I say, there was squad rotations that were a little bit questionable, substitutions that were weird to say the least, and also for that matter, there was a lot of confusion, shall we say, in terms of what Nuno was trying to do. But again, as I say, we were a polished herd last season. We should have really finished where we were last time we got relegated, rock bottom of the league table with 2 games to go. Do you know what I mean? We really should have been. Damien Domenko 7. Deju is a left-footed striker, very fast, very athletic, natural finisher, has a trick in him, would do well in that 4-4-2 system in that right striker role. Llorente is very similar to Somerville. Okay, sounds good there, mate. Sounds kind of like the sort of player that those sort of players that we need, and you've identified some 2 decent ones there, mate. I'll keep a note of those. Somehow I'll see if I can go back and watch the replay and jot those guys down and do some research on them and see if they are viable. That's a very, very good shout there, Damien. Cheers, guys. Blazes 8N, thank you, mate. Welcome. It's nice to see you. New faces tonight. Fantastic. Depends who we keep and who we bring in. I'd love to see Orford, Potts and Skulls in the team squad, plus Nuno gets a pre-season. 100%. I do think there is a bit more to football than just pre-season. It's a lot bigger than that as well at the same point. It's a cliche say he needs a pre-season. Of course he does. He needs that for the to identify players in the right positions at the right price, etc., etc. But yeah. Jason McCrean, 2214. Jason, hello, mate. Good to see you. Hope you're keeping well, mate, and not returning commenter. But still 33 league games to get us out of the bottom 3. Failed. If you need 33 attempts to do your job, then you are in the wrong business. 100% agree with you, mate. Really do. Yeah, that's as I say, that's what the issue's been. So I said that you had long enough, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, as I say, we should have finished rock bottom of the table like we did when we got relegated in the 10-11 season. Really should have done. But at least at that game, we played Sunderland at home at the end of the season and got beaten 5-0. We lost 3-1 away at them at the start of the season. So nothing there. Gaza says, here's a biggie. Keep Jared as captain or give it to Mav if he stays. Mate, neither. I'm sorry, but I love Bowen to bits, but he's not a captain. Yes, he leads by example. Yes, he loves the club, but I've had question marks of him of the last couple of seasons. Mavropanos had a flash in the pale. Pan, as far as I'm concerned, most improved player of last season, just gone. 100%. Not disagreeing with you. Mavropanos, I've said it last season as well. There is a player in Mavropanos. There really is. And now, because we've got the defending ideas better, we are seeing the better version of him. We are seeing the Mavropanos that plays for Greece. Yeah, we are seeing that player. It's brilliant. But I don't think he doesn't have leadership qualities. But then again, neither does Bowen. It's really tricky, guys. Great question from Gaza. Guys, put in the comment section who you think should be with the club squad as it stands at the moment, who you think should be captain for next season. Michael says no. Well, sorry, mate. I did get to see it before you retracted it. No flash players, unfortunately. We don't need flash players. Don't need it. We don't need to have big names coming in. We need hard work grafters. And we haven't had that really. I mean, with the exception of Bowen, he's worked bloody hard the season just finished, but he hasn't delivered the results. And he's one of the best players in England. He's one of the best English players in England, I should say. Let's have a look. Where are we? Jason McQueen asks, how do you feel about Alvarez? Do you think he will leave or or give Nuno should give him a chance. I think it's the way around. You're supposed to be putting it there, mate. I think Alvarez will do phenomenal work. We should have kept him last season. We really should have kept him. We shouldn't have put him out on loan. I think he would have been. I think in front of Disasi, I think he would have been phenomenal. I really do. A lot of people don't like him because he's very hot-headed, but you need that in a defensive midfielder. We really do. Blaze says Souček should be captain, in my opinion. Great shout. Potato salad. Damien says the damage was done last summer. Potter took all the leadership and less than mentioned, but more importantly, the goals out of the side. Great. Not all the goals, mate, because we still kept Bowen. But yeah, Antonio's understandable given his injury. No club would. That's why he hasn't really. That's why he buggered off over to wherever it is in Saudi Arabia or Qatar, wherever the hell it is. Over in the Emirates. No club would want to run that risk with him. As much as we love him, as much as a great player he's been for us, and infuriating that he has been. Yeah. Damon says fans were saying that we needed to sign 2 centre-backs in January when there were real gaps in the squad. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. We've been saying 2 centre-backs for 2 seasons, to be fair, Damien. Really, really have been. Aguerd was inconsistent. As I say, Todibo inconsistent, but was showing promise. Mavropanos and Todibo together was working, but just still not strong enough. The pair of them. Disasi comes in, rulebook's changed completely. 100% rulebook changed on that one. Damien says Mavropanos for captain. Fair enough. Gaza says Souček, yes, maybe. Michael says flash sales, mate. Yeah. Right, do you mean as in quick sales and that sort of flash? Not flashy names flash. Damien says, when the real gaps in the squad were goals and attacking depth. 100%. And it's not just that, mate. It's every single part of the side. I said it last season, 24-25 season. I kept saying it. We can't defend. We've got no midfield and we can't attack. Right, that's what I'm saying. We got very, very... If those 3 teams that came up from the Championship hadn't been relegated, then we would have been relegated ourselves. I guarantee we would have been relegated ourselves. We got away with it last season, didn't do enough, and now it's caught up with us. 100%. That's that's the thing. It's just there's hopefully going forward this short, medium, and long term plan that I've been talking about for the last week or so. Hopefully that now is what engages us going forward. As I say, it all starts with the basics. Yeah, keeping the medical team, they've been phenomenal. Keeping the recruitment such as it is, and the analytics, player analytics departments, very, very crucial. People forget that Allardyce was the one that brought in player analytics, and likewise, in terms of the widespread, was Arsene Wenger. That's how long it's been. That's how long managers have been using player analytics. Yes, all right, the technology's caught up, blah, 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 blah. But, yeah. Blaze says, when Disasi came in, he did something the others weren't doing. Blocking shots like Ginge used to do. 100%. We got relegated when Ginge went to Villa. Yeah. We always needed a shot blocker stroke body on the line. Absolutely agree. And I've been saying it, again, all the guys with the exception of, where are we? With the exception of Jason and obviously the West Ham massive, you guys are all brand new, so you haven't seen my content of everything. But I've been saying for years that we have needed, and it's been one of the reasons why I was glad to see Aguerd go was because he turns his back. Mavropanos turns his back. Even Disasi turns his back to the ball. I hate that. You're a defender. Defend with your head, your chest. You should not be turning your back on a ball, especially when it's going to goal. I really, really can't stand that. Damien says, Potter misread the identity of the side, should have kept it to a 4-2-3-1. Only Potter would prioritise a ball-playing keeper over a striker. Yeah, no, I agreed. Absolutely agree with you on that one, mate. And to a degree, so has Nuno. Nuno's done the same thing, but yeah, I get the point. Damien also says, we were very lucky with injuries the season, second half of the season especially. That's what I'm saying. Those are the basics you need to get ready. You need to make sure everything as making sure everything is bottom. You get the basics done right, boom, you're in. Damien also says we're doing a DOF. I agree. Should build data-led team underneath. And just out of clarity, mate, what does DOF stand for? I think I know what you're talking about, but just clarity, because not everybody uses the initials in the same way. But yeah, as I say, first things first, medical treatment sorted out. Yeah. Tactics sorted out. Identity of the club sorted out in terms, and what I'm saying is the identity is we are going to be playing this way, we are going to need this formation, and we are going to need X, Y, and Z in terms of recruitment, right? And that's the point. That's the whole point of this, is the fact that now that things are coming in, things that director of football agreed. Yeah, we're getting a director of football, says Damien. Yeah. Now there's been a lot of talk. The former director of football for Newcastle has been linked. Albeit very posthumously. We've been linked with the Middlesbrough direct scout network as well, for that matter. And Gaza, thanks for popping in, mate. Much appreciated. Damien says we've headhunted someone from Newcastle. Yeah, literally just said it by the time your comment came through. I can't remember the geezer's name, but yes, we have, and it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in there in terms of what Newcastle are prepared to do. Apparently, he is due to leave on a free anyway, so that'd be very, very interesting on what's going on. Jason McKeon says we will need quite a few players. I know some will leave. That's business. If Bowen stays, we will need cover, which we have never had, plus a striker, 2 centre-backs and a goalkeeper if Areola leaves. 100%. Yeah, completely agree with you, mate. 100% on that. Let me just adjust the lighting slightly because the sun's setting, but you'll still be able to hear me. But I completely agree with you, mate. You know, there are... Where the hell's that bloody thing? There it is. Yeah, that's better. Here we go. Yep, makes it a bit better. Damien says the guy from Newcastle has left his role. Yep, agreed. That's what I'm saying. He's literally due to leave on a free. But yeah, as I say, it's going to be it's going to be difficult, guys. It really, really is going to be difficult in terms of a lot of things that the club have to plan for. And the problem is that the club have made a bad rock. What's the phrase? A rod for their own back over the last few years. Very glad that Sullivan is stepping down. I mean, he obviously everything else with it, but at the same point, guys, 3,580. Thank you very much, guys. Much appreciated with your subscriptions. I say 80 in the space of 2 or 3 days is mental for this channel. It really, really is. Damon says if Kretinsky invests 90 million and we get good money for Fernandez, we're pretty much in the green. Not really. There's as I said beforehand, we're in terms of the club debt. The club debt is massive, absolutely massive. It's, okay, yes, it was 103 point something loss for that season of the 24-25 season, but overall, was it 312 million pounds overall club debt. We're not going to be be in the green or even in the black, for that matter, to use an accountant's term, for a long time yet. We're really, really not. And as a result of this, guys, it's going to be very, very difficult for us to have anything. And this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying for a good few seasons. Again, guys, go back and watch the other content. There's more than enough for you to watch before the new season starts. So yeah, 2009 Cal, welcome. Good to see you. We haven't won anything of note since 1980. People keep banging on about that Mickey Mouse Cup. Will it ever end, for fuck's sake? The only reason why it's a Mickey Mouse Cup, mate, is because it's new. That's it. Once the bigger boys start winning it, like Chelsea did. Chelsea don't call it a Mickey Mouse Cup anymore. Guys, even when the Champions League changed from the European Cup to the Champions League, people were still saying, what the hell's all this about? Give it time. Give it time. Honestly. Michael, greetings from the Aldershot Hammers. Thank you, Michael. Nice to know where you are. Deep in the darkest depths of sorry. Damien says all clubs are in debt. They were talking about having to generate 150 million quid. Yeah, that's mostly to cover the balance of the loss TV revenue. I mean, we're still going to get money, but it's not going to be worldwide anymore like it has been with the Premier League. I don't care what TNT and Sky Sports say. It's not exclusive to those channels. It's exclusive in the UK. There's other channels that we can watch the football games on. We know that, so it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. But yeah, it's the Championship is a lot harder to be viewed. Really is a lot harder to be viewed. Hampshire, sorry, yes, mate. Yep, agreed. Not that far off counties. But yeah, but as you know, as I say, it's the conference league is the most talked about because it's the first thing we've won, as you said, for 46 years. You know, we're not going to be winning anything time soon. So okay, so to twist that back up round on you, then Cal, in that case, what happens if we actually win the league title down in the Championship? Is that going to be Mickey Mouse as well? You know. Jason McKeon says, looking forward to the Championship, some real football. I'm happy that Kretinsky has taken over. This is the change we've been dreaming of. Well, it's not yet. It isn't. We don't know yet. It's all talk at the moment. We've heard all the stuff that went up on the club website yesterday. On Saturday. That's all. We've heard that from Sullivan and Brady ourselves. You know, it's just, we'll have to wait and see. Don't get me wrong, everybody's getting excited, myself included, because of, David Sullivan is no longer going to be running things in any shape or form. We know, so that's what we've been dreaming of. Damien says, the Premier League is scarily competitive nowadays. It is, as is the Championship. Everyone forgets how difficult the Championship can be to play in. We really, really can. You know, there's a lot of heartbreak is going to be coming, but there's going to be a lot of happy times as well. Let's not forget, guys, we were on the verge of going up automatically when we were last down in the Championship, and then the owners stepped in, and all of a sudden we're in the playoffs and narrowly scraped that final as well, for that matter. I mean, I haven't watched it back, and I don't plan to either, for that matter. But you know, it was very, very difficult to watch. You know, like loads of people there. Don't get me wrong, fun day out. Excellent. You know, the Green Man was a good laugh before and after the game. You know, loads of Blackpool fans exiting this Wembley Stadium quite a fair bit. But at the same point, guys, you know, as I say, the game itself was tricky. Blackpool were bloody difficult. They were tricky to get. That's why Vazte's goal, right, like 2 or 3 minutes to go, was such a momentous occasion for us all. Because it was such a big thing, because everybody was nervous as hell. It's a great ball in from Nolan, if I remember correctly, on the touchline to get into the box in the first place. And Michael always says there's a Japanese symbol in there. I'm not 100% sure what that means, but I'm guessing that means no more VAR. 100% agree. I can't wait. You know, we're going to be questioning it. Goal line stuff. We're going to be questioning penalties. We're going to be questioning should we have had a corner if it was instead of a goal kick, and all that sort of stuff. That's all going to come back. 100%. That's all coming back. You know. But at the end of the day, guys. Yeah, it's going to be when where are we? The Euros, I think it was. When was it the World Cup? I can't remember. But the tournament where VAR. It's around about the time that I started this channel, way back now. But yeah, I said that I'm all for VAR, and I still am. It's a great piece of technology. The stupid thing is the rule book's been fucked, and the idiots that are using it are out on the pitch another pitch the week after. It's the idiots that are using the machinery that is causing all these problems. It's nothing to do with the technology. I said at the time when it first came out with that World Cup, yeah, that you can see why VAR is. How good it's going to be, because some of it has been phenomenally good. It really has. The problem is changing the rule book, making it more complicated to suit the technology rather than using the technology to suit the rule book. That's where the issues come from. You know, because I said when that World Cup was around, what was it? I think it was Southgate's first, if I remember correctly. I think it was the one. What was it when we got to the semi-finals against Croatia? Was that the World Cup or the Euros? I can't remember which one, but either way, boom. That was. I said at the time that you can see how bad it is, and you can see how great it is. And unfortunately, the bad to the great's gone like that now. Damien Domenko says, I want Tinder. Tinder us go 4-4-2 again. Same system that beat Leeds 3-0 and Wolves 4-0. That would be the identity I stamp on that team. 100%. Yeah, completely agree with you, mate. Completely agree with you, right? Because the Newcastle game proved that. We started off with 3 at the back or 5 at the back, depending on your point of view. Held our own for the first, 14, 15 minutes. Conceded 2 goals in 5 minutes afterwards. Went to a back 4, no problem. Scored a goal, getting involved a bit, and then all of a sudden go to a back 3, bam, two minutes later, conceded 3-1. Not the way it should be. So Damien says, use that system as a template to build on. Yeah, go back to traditional football, or even was it? I think it was more like a 4-2-2-2. But yeah, it's exactly the same. My thinking, my man. Damien, you're a top lad. The Newcastle game did prove that. I agree. Yeah, it does. It was just ridiculous because I guarantee. Right, 3 at the back, go for them. It's their weak. There's their biggest weakness. The season before last, the 24-25 season, 3 at the back was one of our biggest strengths. It really, really was. We one of the reasons you can argue that Wan-Bissaka just gave up the ghost on that. Just really couldn't be bothered for a lot of last season. I think, to be fair, all the stuff with the Africa Cup of Nations, I think that was kind of like when the club demanded him to come back and he wanted to go out and celebrate. I think that's why he basically dug his heels in and became a bit of a dick. I think that's probably the reason why. But as I say, what would you rather do? Go and celebrate with your mates winning a trophy that you're about to be withdrawn from winning, or would you want to go back to work? I take a piss up any day of the week. Generally would take a piss up any day of the week. Jason McKeon says, if VAR was fully automated, it would make less mistakes. No, it would point more holes in there, mate. But I get you thinking, less mistakes than the humans running it. Let AI do AI and keep the humans away from it. Mate, seriously, no. AI is not the future in any shape or form. AI is made by people, made by humans. It's programmed by people. It is not intelligent. That's why it's called artificial intelligence, not actual intelligence. Artificial. It will only do what it tells it to. And that's exactly what the referees are doing. You put in all the algorithm, right? Say, these are the rules. This is what you got to follow it by. Boom. Look at what happened. You look at the semi-automated offsides. How many times has that actually worked in the last season just gone? Yeah? How many times? Computers are not the way forward. Computers are the way forward for people who do not want to do their job, who do not want to think for themselves. Yeah, that's what AI is for. AI is a concept that's over 70 years old. It was discussed in the 50s when computers were being first fully invented. It's nothing new. Touchscreens have been around for 70, 80 years. Well, no, 40, 50 years, I should say. 50, 60 years. Everything that is the new trend is decades old. It really is decades old. Damien says, I don't think the club handled the Aaron Wan-Bissaka situation well. I agree. First time the geezer smiled in 5 years. True. Let him have his moment. He missed the cup game and we had KWP as cover, who we needed in games anyway. Yeah, agreed. 100%. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Walker Peters in the right back position, because I think he'll be phenomenal in the Championship. He was phenomenal. He's very, very good for us in the Premier League. Just couldn't really have anything, with the exception of Bowen. He didn't really have that much around him to help. That was the problem. Damien says, pick your battles. 100% agree. Yeah, you really, really should. Wan-Bissaka was a very, very good player, and I just think all the turmoil that's been going on. But now that if things are starting to be stabilised in the way that everybody's predicting it's going to be, then I think we'll see. Obviously we'll see. Again, the Championship shows the glory hunters. It really does show the glory hunter players, and it shows the glory hunter owners as well, for that matter. Because Kretinsky was absolutely correct what he said a week or so ago. when he was having a dig at Sullivan without mentioning him, saying, you know, there's no absolute, you know, because that interview that he had the day after relegation, I think it was only published about 2 or 3 weeks ago, where he says being in the second tier is no reason to abandon a football club. Totally agree, completely agree. If any of you guys that are watching this thinking I'm not watching West Ham anymore because we're not Premier League, you're not a West Ham fan, you're a Premier League fan. Simple as that. Damien says, this director of football sounds very traditional. I'd like some stats guys underneath him. Finds like Fernandez and Diouf were very good finds using a data-led approach. Diouf, not so much, mate. His balls into the box and a few free kicks were very, very questionable. Very questionable. What was it on the last day of the season? Even bloody Jamie Carragher was saying he doesn't know what he's doing. You know, I think it was where were we? That was when we were attacking. That was about halfway through the first half, if I remember correctly, for the Leeds game. Diouf puts a very wayward ball through, and even Carragher was like, "This guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's just chanced that." But the bigger picture, Damien, yes, 100% agree. Stats and data are only a third of the picture. The remaining of it is the player's actual ability, and more specifically, the third part of it is his attitude. You got to have the attitude to do your job properly. And if you're going to turn up and earn 70, 80 grand a week and put in 4 or 5 out of 10 performances, get the fuck away from my club. Simple as that. That's what the director of football and should be saying. If you're not putting your hard graft in, you can fuck off. Simple as that. Damien says he sounds like a doer though. This Steve Nixon, supposedly he grafted Bruno Guimaraes to get Bruno Guimaraes to Newcastle. Damien says he rates Diouf. I do as well. I just don't think he's this big wonder left back that everybody thinks he is. There isn't. There's again, like Mavropanos, there is a very, very good player in there, but he needs to learn how to defend. He's great going forward. Balls wayward, but as I say, questionable defending. Really is questionable defending, and it really. But as I say, I've got a lot of time for the guy. I think he was certainly the start of the season. He was phenomenal. We're like, where the hell did we get this guy from, and can we get more of him? Everybody was saying that, and quite frankly, because at the start of the season, it was brilliant, absolutely phenomenally good player. But at the same point, guys, it just wasn't to be. Sadly, it just wasn't to be. But yeah, as I say, we've got so much to look forward to next season. We've got 3 Welsh teams to play: Cardiff, Cardiff, Wrexham, and who's the third? Swansea. Those 3. We've got those guys to play again. Swansea is always difficult. It was always one of the games I absolutely hated to watch. But then again, that was a hell of a long time ago now. We've got the likes of Blackburn. Damien says, feel like people forget he's 21. Exactly, mate. 100%. That's exactly what I'm saying. There's a player in there. He just needs to learn how to do it. Everybody rates him like he's 25, 26 and the best start of his career. No, he's right. He's absolutely right. He's right. Like with Fernandez to a lesser extent, Scarles, etc., etc. Boom. Stuart Jenkins, welcome, mate. Nice to see you. Another new face. Welcome. Late to the party, but how about old subscribers? Good to see you back up and running. Thank you, Stuart. Don't remember seeing you beforehand, but yeah, I did say on the post that I did say on the video that I did yesterday as well, for that matter, that went up early today. If you haven't already watched it, go do so. I did say that I hope that those are new returning subscribers. One of the reasons why it says welcome new subscribers, because practically 90% of everybody that subscribed over the last 2.5 days are new subscribers, mate. So yeah. But I mean, technically, you'll be classed as that if you've resubscribed. So, but yeah, Stuart, thank you very much, mate. Jason says the fella from Newcastle who's doing an old school scout. He's an old school scout and was part of the team who found Isak and Guimaraes. Yeah, exactly. We need to. That's the point. Do things traditionally, but modernize it at the same point. That's what I'm saying. Going back again, talking about the changing the club badge. If the club actually does that and actually puts it out to a vote properly this time, I personally would have the West Ham United back in the little banner under there. Take out London, and just keep the crossed hammers above it. Simple as that. Traditional, yet modern. Michael says, "Is football coming home?" No idea. I've not watched any of the. Didn't watch the draw, and I'm in two minds about watching it on Wednesday night as well. For that matter, we'll have to wait and see. Fernandez is unbelievable, says Damien. To be fair to him, be very tough to replace. Controls the whole game. Yeah, I can't think of any time where he's had less than a 6 or a 7 out of 10 performances. I mean, he's had, little mistakes here and there, but in terms, yeah. I voted for Fernandez as hammer of the season. I really, really did. It's the hammer of the year. It's ridiculous. It's not a year. January to December, 12 months is a year. We're in a 10 and a half month season. It's not 12 months. It's not a year. But yeah, it genuinely was my vote. Really, really was my vote for hammer of the season, because he was just the only shining light. Absolutely outshone Paquetá. Completely outshone him. You could tell right from the first couple of games how good he was, and good he is, I should say. I really do hope that we are able to keep him, because he'll be man of the match every single game, I reckon, in the Championship. I really think he will. But as I say, going back to talking about that, we are going to see very, very difficult games coming up. Something I'm looking forward to seeing playing Blackburn away. That's been that's going to be a really good game. Let's not forget Blackburn won the Premier League with when Alan Shearer was there. I forgot his name for some random reason then for a second. But it's, that's the thing. Everyone's going, oh yeah, it's Championship. Oh, it's Millwall. Bore off, man. Fucking Millwall. We've got more rivalry with Blackburn than we do with Millwall. We've played Blackburn more than we have Millwall. That's the thing. But it's club history is club history. But yeah, if Cal's bored about hearing about the bloody Conference League, I'm bored about hearing about all the stuff with Millwall. It's over 100 years old, that history. I think it's time to let that go, don't you? But yeah, so guys, we've only got a couple more minutes. I know everyone was pretty much late to it and stuff, because as usual, there's some technology issues that prevented me from putting this up properly. But yeah, so we go for about five more minutes. But guys, as I say, we're at the cusp of something phenomenal. We really, really are. And Damien says, I want a front-footed front four and really put it on teams. 2 strikers, 2 wingers. 100%, mate. Totally agree with you. Jason's also saying, no Castle in the badge. I'm not sure. Maybe it's an age thing. I'm 54, and that's the badge I remember. Yeah, but agreed. But we're not at that ground anymore. That's what I'm saying. Traditional, but modern. If you want to put anything in the background, then you put a bastardized version of the London Stadium in there. Right. You being 54, Jason, you'll remember some of the badges we've had that didn't even have, like the old pony one, for example. The cream, what was it? That creamy escrew white just had the crossed hammers there. Don't remember anyone kicking up a fuss about it in those days. Yeah. Oh, where's the castle? None of that was there. We've had it. We've done it before, and we've done it. We can do it again. But as I say, London straight away out completely. West Ham United back in the banner underneath the badge completely. Bring back the old boat bottom of the badge as well. Bring all that stuff back, but keep it modernised. And as I say, I get you, mate. I'm only literally 7 years behind you, so I get it. But at the same point, we've got to look forward and keep it modern. And as much, at the end of the day, the club is still pissing about with retro inspired shirts and all that sort of stuff. Then we need, but as a result of it, that's the history is the history. Okay, guys, let's pretty much wrap it up there, really, because looks like we're running out of topics. But guys, thank you, as I say, thank you to everybody that has subscribed, and thank you to everybody that is still with us as well, for that matter, yourself included, Geezer. It's been phenomenal. I didn't think that the channel growth would be as big as it has been upon my return. There's been a few bits here and there, but over the last 2 or 3 days since the fallout of those idiots, let me put it that way, the fallout of those idiots. But Damien says, thanks for the show, Jay. You're more than welcome, fella. But yeah, as I say, I'm going to try and do some more live streams at one point. But as I say, it was just a live interactive with all of you. I'm going to try and keep doing some more in the meantime. But guys, thank you very much for spending this just around about an hour with me. I really do appreciate it. But yeah, if anything else pops up that is going to be worthwhile to talk about, then we'll have some content talking about that. But in the meantime, guys, as Michael says, stay safe, everybody. Have a great evening. Look after yourselves. Take care, and we'll see you very soon. All the best now.